Good evening. Today is March 8th. So, apparently, without even realizing what today was, I put on my favorite old cotton washed shirt, salt washed shirt, and yesterday I picked up this book, Women Who Run with the Wolves. It's by a Clarissa Pinkola Estes, PhD. Gotta add that in there. Don't forget that. She's a doctor. Probably in some social science. I don't know. I picked it up because, well, I love sociology and anthropology and history, and I was in that section of the bookstore yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah. Wow, that was yesterday. Yesterday was a long time ago. Because it's cover style, as well as grammatical structure and content. Pardon. Its grammatical structure and content are quite similar to this book that I read like 10 years ago about Greek mythology. Yeah. This is about the mythos this is about the mythos of womanhood, the idea of women, and female character archetypes. But mostly it's about, it's overall, that's what it's about, but singling in, it's about the wild woman, the woman that can't be tamed, and that character trope. I bring this up because today is International Women's Day. And it's a day when women who could afford to didn't attend their jobs, and they held peaceful protest meant to signal that women had a significant place in society. Not only were they going to not attend their job positions, but they were also not going to make any purchases. Now, in the 1950s, thereabouts, when the men were coming home from war and females wanted to stay in the workforce, and all of a sudden families had a greater influx of money. So women could afford to not work as much, even though it provided them with things like a sense of accomplishment, something that they, at least for the white middle class woman with a white middle class husband, something that they hadn't really had, that there was no necessity for them to pursue before. But when things like the washing machine and refrigerators and things like that, those technological advancements came out, it was the economic success brought on by the period of World War II that allowed for the monetary stimulus of jobs and extra jobs and money for women to afford to buy nice things. They could afford to buy expensive refrigerators and expensive washing machines, even if it was just a little 5-gallon jug that agitated, and microwaves. You can explode a bomb in your kitchen and cook your food. That's not really what happens, but it was seen as sci-fi-ish as that. As far-fetched as that. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Greek mythology. Mythology of the female in general, specifically wild woman, the independent woman, the woman who don't need no man. The teller at the bookstore was a woman checking me out, the cashier, and she must have had an amazing life. Gosh, you can see it on her face, in her eyes. And when I checked out this book, she's like, I read this all the time. I read it when it first came out, probably before you were born. And looking it up, I'm kind of flattered. But it's really cool to meet people and talk to them on a more personal level than, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Good, what does that mean? Good. You're good, that's great. Wonderful, okay. Someone who you don't know very well, you just pick up a conversation about something that actually has meaning beyond superficial, beyond weather, beyond a dismissive, I'm good. Yeah. I should put this down before I start reading it. Yeah. I wonder what kind of things she got into. I'll have to read this and go talk to her about it. Because she's always there. Every time I'm there. That would be an awesome job to have. Someone who works in a bookstore or a library. I could spend hours there. Like I said yesterday, books, 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 books. Books, books, books. Books. Yeah. I also got, if you care, a book about germs, spread of disease, war, famine, and all kinds of disasters, and how they relate to the fall of nations. I mean, there's no reason why I'd be interested in things like the fall of nations. One of my favorite paraphrases or misquotes by Benjamin Franklin, I think it was, is essentially it does a nation good to have a little revolution every once in a while, every 100 years. Or maybe he said 400, or maybe he didn't list a time frame, because complacency kills. And speaking of, the guy who wrote this book that I talked about in January, he gave a high class recommendation of the Germs book. That's what sold it to me. I was like, ooh, this looks cool. And then I was reading through the blurb, and I got to a review, and I saw it was by him, and I was like, wow. You know, not 5 minutes before, I had just gone on a little mini rant in my head about how who cares about what some Chuck from the New York Times thought about this book. It doesn't tell me anything about the book. It's brilliant, it's awesome, it's wonderful, it's my favorite. Words like that lose their meaning if they're said too much. That's the kind of world we live in now. How are we going to grow to meet it? This is extremely long. I'm very sorry. None of that was written down, so it was kind of all over the place. Not prepared. Lots of pauses. I'm sorry. I hate talking. So yeah. That's what I did yesterday. What I do today. Cleaned. Spring cleaning. It was super windy today, but I had to have the windows open to clean the windows and air the place out. Have someone coming next Tuesday to clean the carpets. First time they've been done in probably like 15 years. Only been living in this house for 12. No, 15. 15. It has been 15 years. Oh my gosh. And then, the evening, I went to go play games with friends, and we ended up going out to have dinner. Unfortunately. Totally slipped my mind. I thought he meant we were going to go out to eat tomorrow night. I had already said yes, so I couldn't really turn him down. Couldn't really turn them down. Not like I spend much money anyway. Oh. Anyway, that's all for now. Peace out.